Alright, this is the last half of kind of my eyeshadow palettes. These are all kind of smaller palettes. I don't know, they're just smaller in size, I should say, because this isn't really a small quad or anything like that. But let's just dive right in. Okay, let's see. First off, I know I can get rid of this. This is the Jessie's Girl Eye Color Collection. I reviewed this with the other larger palettes. I think I showed you guys in my last large palette declutter. This was just a terrible quality compared to those. Those other ones were night and day. Go get the other larger palette. This just, I wasn't there for it. Also going to get rid of the Smashbox eyes. This was really nice, but it's just a quad I never reached for. My daughter got into it. It's just, I don't know. I'd never reach for it, never have the urge or need to use it, so I'm gonna get rid of it. This Kat Von D Ladybird palette I'm keeping because it's relatively new to my collection. I actually bought it off a friend who was decluttering from her collection, but I want to give this a go and see what I think about this palette, even though I know you can't get it anymore. I love the packaging. I love all matte palettes, and yeah, keeping. Next, I have the NYX Ultimate Shadow Palettes. This one's in the warm neutrals, and then this is the brights. Keeping both of these. I did a review on my blog shortly after they released, but it's really nice quality. I like having both in my collection for, you know, drugstore recommendations, and they're both really nice, and I like having a bright palette, so keeping both. Okay, this is from HINT Beauty. This is relatively new to my collection. They sent me a little trio to try and just see how I like their quality. The quality is really nice, it's really there, but this palette was just, it was just okay. But now that I've used it, I never reached for it. Mainly because these two are just so similar, and then this is such a drastic color. I feel like this is a good companion palette to maybe something you're missing in your collection and you want a couple transition shades and then you like to have a black. This would be really great to have. But as for like a complete look, I did create a complete look that I had put on my Instagram, but I feel like that's pretty much all you can do with it. You know, I mean, I guess not all, because I use the black just as a liner, because you can use this to smoke out your outer corner, but I don't know. There's not a whole lot of variety when you go and reach for this trio, and I never do now that I've kind of tried it, decided I liked it, and I just don't reach for it. So I'm going to pass this along. Another palette I can pass along is this from Clinique. It's kind of like a blush and shadow combo. I just never reach for this because I'm not a very simple eyeshadow person, and there's only 2 eyeshadows in here. So this is, and I mean, the blush is beautiful. It's really nice. It's great if you like to travel a lot and just like very simplistic eye makeup and you want a nice blush, but I think I've used it once. And then that was just like a companion, like I said. I could not just create a look with these 2. I had to bring in other shadows and whatnot. So I never reached for it. Another trio, I feel like it's just something about trios that I just don't reach for and show enough love. Because this palette is super nice, like really beautiful. I got this in a BoxyCharm. The highlight shade is stunning. The gold is beautiful. And then the matte is very creamy, very blendable. I really like the quality of this eyeshadow, but I don't reach for trios, and I just think it's because it's so limited, and I guess I really don't just use 3 colors when I do an eye look. I always use more than 3 colors, but I don't know, I never reach for it. I'm gonna pass it along. This I am just gonna get rid of. I feel like I can get rid of a lot more of this palette than my bigger palettes, because I just like having bigger palettes to have more variety, and then I guess I use a lot more shadows when I create looks. But this was just a 4-pan palette. I think, if I remember correctly, the quality was fine. I just never reached for it. This is from Fiona Styles. I don't know if I said it's their Meyer Artist Shadow Quad. I don't know, passing along. So here's my Sonia Kashuk. I tried to find this when I was doing the other eyeshadow palette declutter to show you in comparison to the what do you call it, e.l.f. Matte for Matte. I would recommend this one over the Sonia Kashuk if you're wanting a good drugstore matte eyeshadow, because I feel like I didn't have as many blending issues with this as I do this. Now I need to keep it. I'm going to keep it and just try it a couple more times to make sure it wasn't just, I don't know, my eyeshadow primer's fault. But I remember the last couple times that I used this, I was just like, I was working too hard to blend it out, and there was like little weird skipping in the shadow and stuff like that. And I mean, this is, I think, $20, and then this is $10, so I mean, it seems like a no-brainer, but if you're trying to decide between these 2, just go for the cheaper option, because I don't remember ever having any blending issues with the e.l.f. Matte for Matte palette, as opposed to what I do with this one. Keeping it for now, but this one I don't really recommend. All right, Smashbox. This was their holiday collection. What was this? The Art Love color palettes. I think they had this was like a set of 3, and I just kept one and give the rest away. But I like this blush. and the colors were really pretty, but I never reached for it, so I'm gonna pass this along. All right, let's talk about these two. This is the Body Shop quads, and they are like poppable out. Like you can press this here and pop them out and switch them around, which is what I've done, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I really like their mattes. Their satins are just okay. I'm pretty sure I switched these around because these 4 are ones that I like, and these are just me. Their satins just weren't that impressive. I never did a review or anything, so I don't really have that to go back on. But yeah, I don't know. They definitely weren't inspiring. I just feel like they weren't that pigmented. So I'm going to get rid of this one, but I am going to keep this one because I like all of the shades. These are matte. These 3 are matte, and this is really pretty. So I'm going to keep this one and get rid of this one. All right, Glow Minerals. They sent me an eyeshadow palette, or a little quad, that I really do like, but I'm going to get rid of it because, once again, it's just a quad. I need other shades to complete a look with this, at least my preference. This is getting very old. This would be just a companion, and I just don't reach for it, and I feel like my mom would really enjoy these colors. She likes these kind of reds. But yeah, I remember really liking the quality. The quality's fine, but I just don't reach for these smaller palettes, so I don't feel the urge to keep them. I don't feel like that collector item feel as I do with the larger palettes. But yeah, really nice quality. I forget how much this is. I think Glow Minerals is a little more high end, but really nice. Just gonna pass it along. This I make an exception for though, because it's matte eyeshadows from the drugstore. I never get rid of matte eyeshadows. But this is the Physicians Formula Classic Canyons. This is their matte collection quad. This is actually my second quad. The first quad, I panned all of them, completed all of them, got it out of my collection. I used up every single one of the shades. It's a fantastic palette, or quad, whatever. I don't know why it doesn't get more love and recognition on YouTube, but this is not going anywhere. Highly recommend it. This is awesome. Okay, these are the pure Vanity palettes. This is the Dream Chaser, and then this one is Gold Digger. Gold Digger looks like this. Dream Chaser looks like this. I actually did a review, like recorded a review on these. I just haven't got around to posting at this time, I don't think, at least. But I hope to post them one day because I think that they're helpful, and I think these are really nice. They have their pros and cons, but they're nice if you like the colors you see and you use the colors you see. The quality is really nice. I don't like the eyeshadows in this one though. I like the cheek products in this one, but I don't like the eyeshadows. And the cheek palette products in this palette are nice, great quality, but they just aren't my like shade preference. But I do like these eyeshadows, so I kind of wish I could swap in and out, but because I can't, I'm not going to keep both of them. Since I did a review, I feel good. You know, I'm going to post them at some point. I'll always have that to go back on. But for now, I'm going to get rid of Gold Digger because I just don't like the eyeshadows, and I'm going to keep Dream Chaser. So I will say the Gold Digger highlight, that is stunning. I wish I could take that out, but I'll just pass along. Someone else can appreciate and use it. Let's talk about these two. This is the Mimi Box Pony Effects brand. They sent me two, let me see how to do this, 2 of their palettes. They're okay. I don't remember giving them the fairest of shots. I think I only tried this one a handful of times and this maybe once. But I'm going to keep this one. That way I can pull it back into my collection and give it a fair review. Remind myself of the quality, because I don't remember quality-wise how much I liked it, if you know how good it was. So I'm gonna keep this one, which is the Easy Glam, and then I'm gonna get rid of this one just because it's full of shimmers or sparkly colors and no mattes. And this is the Easy Glam 2. All right, Studio Makeup on the go. Got both of these in BoxyCharms, and I like them both. The quality is pretty good. And nothing outstanding. I do think they're way overpriced. I would say I would kind of relate this to kind of Pixie or Sonia Kashuk kind of eyeshadow quality. So kind of not high-end, but not drugstore. But I think these are like, I might be wrong, but I think these are like $50. I don't know. I just remember seeing them seeing the price in the BoxyCharm and saying, no way would I pay that much money for 9 shadows of this quality. But I mean, I got them for less than $20 because both of them came in my BoxyCharm, so I'm keeping them both. All right, this also came in a BoxyCharm. It was the Real Her Be Your Own Kind of Beautiful. I think this was one of the first BoxyCharm reviews I did on my channel here when I got this palette, but after reviewing it, I never reached for it. The shadows were really pretty, but they faded on me throughout the day and they just weren't that vibrant. I really had to use them wet to get any kind of intenseness, and kind of now that I did that review, finalized my thoughts, I never reach for it anymore and just have no desire to. So it was okay. It was okay, but I don't need it. This is Lorac Pro to Go. This is a very nostalgic for me because this was the first, Lorac was the first brand to send me PR, and this was one of the first palettes that they sent me in that first package. And it was just such an amazing experience because I loved Lorac at the time. So the fact that they sent me a PR package and was like the first, you know, big makeup brand to send me a PR package, I just couldn't get over it. So I'm gonna keep it just for nostalgia. I'm not getting rid of it, not at this point in my life. It's very special to me. This is relatively new. This is from BoxyCharm. This with Blink, the Electric Eyes palette. I love all the shades in here. They're all fantastic quality. It's relatively new. I really enjoy the looks, the shimmer, or the metallic-ness of the shadow, so I'm going to keep it. This is also relatively new. It's the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea Volume 2 palette. This came in the BoxyCharm. I did a review on it. This was just okay. It's a good starter palette. You know, the shades are a little, not all the shades, like this one's soft, but most of the shades are very firmly pressed, and you kind of really have to dig your brush in there to get color off of. But I created entire looks just with this palette. I wouldn't pay full price for it though, because for the price of $32, I feel like you can get better quality and still, you know, be neutrals and easy to work with. But anyway, all that to say, I'm gonna get rid of it. All right, let's talk about these two shades, or these two palettes. I have a couple more, but this is Vendant Paris, whatever. I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but they sent me a couple of their trios, and I have two other ones. I'm not gonna open this one because it's all shattered. I just got it on there. Shoot. I think I have 3 of them right now in my to try products, but I just haven't gotten around to trying it, so I'm keeping them. Okay, the Comfort Zone, the infamous Wet n Wild Comfort Zone, not going anywhere. This is great if you want a bunch of shimmer shades. I don't ever use this alone, but it's got a lot of really nice eyeshadows in there. It's only $5, worth keeping. This Milani shadow is the Earthy Elements. I do like it. I do want to keep it just to have, because this is my only Milani kind of eyeshadow in my collection, and I really like their mattes, and their shimmers were nice, and yeah, I'm keeping it. Rodial. This is a high-end brand, if I'm not mistaken. It's just, it feels like the NARS packaging, or even like softer than the NARS, if that's possible. But I reviewed this on my blog as well, and I was such a fan of this. I thought the looks you could create were really pretty. They gave you that, you know, those mattes that you need in any eye look, and then just kind of one pop of kind of a shimmery, really pretty color. I thought was really pretty. But yeah, I like this. It's a staple. I don't reach for it much anymore just because I'm hoping to, with the Declutter, I'll be able to reach for these smaller palettes more, but I like it. I like it. It's not going anywhere. Okay, this Becca Quad, I bought off of Haute Look and never used. Seriously, I think I've only swatched it. And you know why I bought it off of Haute Look? Yep, because it had a grain. But I've never used it, and I just feel like there's no reason to keep it. I'm gonna just declutter it. I never reached for it. Teeny Beauty sent me this eyeshadow palette, which was fairly nice. I don't know how much of the Teeny Beauty or this palette is. It's got a really cool color there. But I've used it a handful of times. Pretty sure I used it in a tutorial or 2 on Instagram, but I never reached for it, and it just doesn't excite me or inspire me, so I'm gonna pass it along. This also should not be in here because I need to test it. Okay, last up, I knew these would be last, are all my, what were these? Cover Shot palettes from Smashbox. I did a full review. Oh, shoot, see, that crushed eyeshadow. I did a full review on my blog. You know, they all had their pros and cons. Some were better than the others. I'm definitely keeping the matte. Let me find that. Here it is. Matte. It's the purple one. This one, all matte. You guys know I have to keep it. I love it. I love having matte eyeshadow palettes in my collection. The Ablaze. Yeah, the Ablaze one is also super, super pretty. I really liked it. Going to keep it. I will say the biggest disappointment for me with the packaging, while it's super cool, I feel like the hinge is going to fall apart. It just doesn't feel that secure. This is the Soft Light. I'm gonna get rid of because I am not a soft light person when it comes to my eyes. So I'm gonna get rid of that. Golden Hour. Let's see what this looks like. This was really pretty. I remember I created a really pretty purple look with this. Gotta think on that. This is the Metallic eyeshadow palette. While this is really pretty, like the metallics are really pretty, I just didn't feel like there was a lot of variety between like these shades. They're all pretty kind of like that neutral, kind of that shimmer or metallic that pretty much looks the same no matter the color when it's actually on your eyes. So I'm gonna pass. I don't feel like I need to keep that. This is the bold eyeshadow. Oh, the bold palette. This is definitely not going anywhere. I like having bold colors. I create a really cool look with this on my Instagram. Not going anywhere, I'm keeping. And then last up was the smoky eye palette. And I really do like this. I like the green. I like this shade, and the silver's pretty. I like the colors, and then these mattes are fantastic. So I'm going to keep it. And with that said, since I'm keeping that one, I feel like I don't need to keep this one. So I'm going to get rid of that one. So out of that huge pile at the beginning, these are the ones I'm getting rid of. I feel like I did a lot better than my large eyeshadow palettes. So this is everything I am decluttering out of my collection. So yay!